Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your body, your health, your wellness from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be. And today's topic is about trust needs to be earned. And I wanted to extend a little on yesterday's podcast because there was an outcome from the incident that happened in my street, and I want to tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But I think, certainly from my perspective, I don't know how you feel, but generally speaking, I would say I'm a pretty trusting person. Things like you meet people, you take them on face value, and you believe that they will do the right thing by you. You're going to, the values and beliefs that you hold, and you're going to treat people the way that you would want to be treated, I imagine. But unfortunately, not everybody's like that, are they? And I know in business, when you're in business, at some point, if you're in business long enough, somebody's going to screw you over. And somebody that maybe you trusted, sometimes it's people that you trusted very deeply. If you look at what's happening with the New South Wales Premier right now, she was in a 6-year relationship with, they were sort of on and off apparently, on and off relationship with a senior minister in her government. And he was basically doing dodgy deals and using his position and relationship with her to basically be in it for himself. And I guess no one really knows apart from the two of them. And she said that she was fooled. She trusted this person and he really let her down. And I guess that happens in life, doesn't it? I know for sure, for me, in business, I've been let down before. I know in relationships, I've been let down before, where you've trusted, whether it's an intimate relationship or another type of relationship, where you thought that you could depend on somebody or thought that you were being told the truth or thought you had the whole picture. Sometimes events happen and you find out that, well, actually, you're only giving me the half-truth or you're not giving me the truth at all. You're trying to disguise this, hide it from me, and that's not a very good thing. So when it comes to trust, I believe you've got to earn it, don't you? I mean, I don't expect somebody to trust me immediately. You need to earn people's trust by the way that you care, and you earn it by your actions. And I used to be in the B&I, Business Networking International, and the saying there was that people only want to work with people that they like, know, and trust. And if those elements are missing, then you can have an issue. But if people don't know you, for instance, I guess let's take a branded product. They know the brand perhaps, but they don't necessarily know the person that they're, say, calling up in a call centre to take an order or something, but they do know the brand. Like take Apple, for instance. People that like Apple normally love it and they'll have everything Apple. So they like it, they know that it's reputable, they know that Apple is the first $1 trillion company, and they trust them because of whatever it is that they've had experience with the brand in the past. And I do take people on face value and I expect people to treat me as I would like to be treated, but that doesn't always happen that way. And to extend on the story from yesterday, now I just have a heightened level of awareness. So when I'm down in my local park, which is just past that house that was broken into, I'm just more observant of, I'm just going to call it dodgy behaviour. And because I've been down at the park so long, and I've been living in this area for 8 years, you get to know the vehicles, you get to know the people. I wave to people as they come and go. And yesterday, there was a lot of people there that I hadn't seen before. And they were with families and that kind of stuff, so it didn't seem dodgy. But when I see something that doesn't look right, I thought, maybe I need to take some further action on this now, because I know that, what's just recently happened. So a car turned up today parked over the road from where I was parked, and I was working with a client in the park. And to start with, the behaviour of the car, if a car can have a behaviour, the driver's behaviour in the car, you couldn't see them because of the tinted windows. But it just didn't look right. I mean, where I park and where I do my sessions, no one normally parks. So when people park there, I start to take notice and say, what's going on here? Now, after about 5 minutes, they sat there for a little while. My client couldn't see them either. And a person got out, and then there was another person got out, and then there were 4 people got out, and they had a ball with them, like football to kick. And I immediately thought, these guys look suspicious. This is something about it. It just didn't look right, and it wasn't like what normally happened in the park. And they went to an area of the park which was just inappropriate for them, because it was a kiddies playground and they were just sitting there holding the ball. They weren't doing anything, and 2 guys disappeared. I thought, this isn't right. Something's definitely up. So I rang the policeman that I know, who lives next door to me, and I said, look, there's some dodgy behaviour going on here. I said, I've taken some video. I've got the car, the license plate, and I've videoed the guys as well. And I said, I think there's something not quite right here. And so he did some investigation, and he registered with OOO, and to subsequently find out that the license plates on the car didn't belong to that car. They didn't match, meaning that it was stolen. And so they left. And I found out later that they were subsequently picked up because the police didn't get there in time for then, but they caught them down at the local shop. And so, as I understand it, they would be in custody right now and being questioned, etc., etc. So all of that coming about by virtue of me becoming less trusting, I guess, of the people that are in the neighbourhood, because otherwise, I mean, you wouldn't question it otherwise. I mean, there's just kids out having a kick of the footy, but some of the things just didn't add up. And apparently they're from a local gang, and the bad news about that is, even though there was 4 of them, there's more than 4 in a gang, so there's more people. And so, yes, I have a heightened level of consciousness about my own security, because they could have been casing me out. We think that they were sitting in an area of the park where they could see the other property, and maybe they were checking things out there. But scary, because it means they're obviously coming back. So we, I think, as a neighbourhood, will just come together, and we won't let things like this beat us. But we just need to be more aware of what's going on. And it got me thinking about other things that happen in your life, and where trust really does need to be earned, doesn't it? It's not something that we should just expect of people. And because of my chartered accounting background, I used to work in audits, and most of my work was done in internal audit, and it was investigating frauds. And if they say where there's smoke, there's fire, and if something smells a bit stinky, it normally is a bit stinky. There's more to it. So we've just got to make sure that we do our due diligence. If things don't seem quite right, then dig a little deeper. Have somebody external do some due diligence on whatever the situation is. Just have your wits about you and think, well, if it doesn't seem right, maybe it's not quite right. And I think this happens so much in relationships, and it's really unfortunate that out there are people that are deliberately forming relationships to take advantage of people. And you see it a fair bit in a romantic sense, where you've got international people trying to hook up with other international people. and requesting money for them to come out and visit them. And it happens with men a lot, where there's a beautiful looking woman that says that she's madly in love, but it's actually not a woman at all. It's just they're fake photos, fake names, fake identities, and they just keep asking for money. And the person that feels like that they're in love with them keep sending the money. I've heard some horrific stories like that, and it's such a shame. It really is such a shame. So you got to be careful in this day and age. And obviously, I'm talking about physical security here, but I'm also talking about your own emotional security, financial security. Unfortunately, people are just out there that want to take advantage of others. Not the majority of people, but there are some. And you need to have your radar on so that you can detect when things aren't quite right. And, don't be fooled into a position if you're not comfortable with it. Because, life's short. And, you've got to earn that trust. Just give it some time. Give it some time. I remember I had you live and learn from every experience that you have. And I remember when this happened to me the first time, I immediately made some changes. But this was a person that seemed very genuine. And he came to, I think it was about 4 sessions, and he kept saying, "Yep, I'll pay the invoice. Yep, sorry, I didn't pay it this week, or I didn't pay it today. Yep, I'll pay it now. In the end, this guy, I stopped his payments. Stopped his sessions. It was after 4 sessions, so it wasn't a lot, but it was the principle of it. And I ended up, he just kept saying, "Yeah, I'll pay it." But I knew that he wasn't going to, because he just kept saying that all the time. So I stopped communicating with him and just sent him to a collection agent. I sent him the last correspondence and everything, saying that that's what I was going to do. The collection agent said, "This guy really knows how to play the system." He says, "We're unlikely to get anything out of him." And I thought about it, and I thought how he came to me was that he said that the other coach that he was working with had gone out of business, and he wanted to work with someone else, and he was really keen. He played local footy, etc., etc. And I thought, so what's this guy's plan? To go around the community working with all the different coaches with the same story and just getting a few free sessions and having a horrible reputation in the process. So I'll never forget the guy's name. And I tell anyone that's in the area that's a trainer, I tell them his name and say, "Watch out for this guy, he's a shongster." And I just wonder, why would you do that? Just to get some free coaching? Like, that's such a stupid thing to do. But I guarantee you that if they do it like this, there are other areas where they're doing it as well. They'd be ripping off their employer. They'd be cheating on their partners. They'd be stealing. They'd be speeding. They'd be, ripping off the ATO, working cash jobs, doing all kinds of different things. That's the Australian Tax Office, by the way, for you overseas listeners. They would be just not a nice person to be around, and it's really, really disappointing. But it's the reality of life. There are people out there like that. You rise above it all. You set a higher standard. You get your radar on, so you look for these things and make sure that people, earn your trust, and don't just trust people on face value. It's got to be earned in every relationship. It just takes time. It takes time. So that's my message for today. Be alert and don't be afraid to speak up like I did today. And hopefully that stops some crime. And hopefully it doesn't mean that more trouble comes my way because they've been scoping me out and they got in trouble not long after leaving the park, and they'll relate it all back to me. Who knows? We just got to be more vigilant of what's going on around us and take appropriate action, as I did today with the security company about security cameras and so forth. Don't mess around with this stuff. Don't make excuses, just do it. Have a great day wherever you are. Stay safe. Hopefully I'll have some good news for you soon by Sunday. So today's Thursday. So another 3 days I'll have some good news for you about what is our status of COVID. We had 6 cases today. 6. And we're still locked down and they have no intentions of opening us up really business-wise. So let's just see what happens in another few days. Stay safe. See you soon.